Welcome back to Starladder Season 8, Day 3. Here on Beyond the Summit, we've got our fourth and final match of the day coming up. RoX.KiS going to be facing off against Team Poseidon. Zayori, joining me once again is Merlini. Merlini, my friend, what's the good word coming into the last match of the day?
RoX.KiS versus Poseidon. This should be a pretty good one.
Yeah, for sure. At face value, any predictions? I don't think I've seen these two face off in quite some while. Maybe last season of Starladder.
RoX.KiS, they're pretty strong with the recent addition, fairly recent addition of Scandal. They did take down Alliance in a best-of-3 a couple of weeks ago. That was a pretty big upset. Poseidon, they've been hanging around pretty decently in Starladder. They're kind of a tier 2 team. RoX.KiS is like at the top of the tier 2 team, so I would say RoX.KiS slight edge in this matchup, but anything can happen. We have a lot of good names on Poseidon, some ex-VP members.
Yeah. And RoX.KiS, there was a recent shuffle with Scandal now. He left whom I'm spacing as though he left Empire now to join RoX.KiS. Is that right? Maybe.
I believe so.
Yes, I believe so.
I don't exactly remember. There's a lot of roster.
I know. I should have double checked before I spoke, and then I realized actually I'm not sure. Anyway, very recognizable names over there on RoX.KiS. Go Black, Y'all, Scandal, Biz, and Sadoy. A pretty scary roster. So we'll see what they have. Hopefully they have the skills to pay the bills, as it may be. So we'll take a look here as the draft gets underway. Both teams taking their precious time with these initial bans, actually both breaking into their reserve time a fair bit here. And a very different take on the bans from what we've seen previously in the past few days of Starladder. Gyrocopter first banned out by RoX.KiS, and Poseidon actually going to take out Bounty Hunter and Abaddon. I can't recall the last time I saw an Abaddon in the first banning cluster. Kind of strange.
This is pretty strange indeed. I'm not exactly sure where they are headed with these bans, but I mean, if it works out for them, it works out for them. No Elder Titan, I would have definitely liked to see that pick up over Venomancer, but I expect them to be taken pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Lich also still in the pool, another very sought-after hero. Bristleback as well. I mean, Bristleback's powerful. I would say he may be ban-worthy, but in these first couple... I think statistics would argue that there are many more scary heroes that can be first picked, as you mentioned.
Yeah, there's Visage, there's OD,
Visage,
there's Elder Titan, and
there you go. Elder
there's
Titan
Lich. I much prefer RoX.KiS' draft right now.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, when you don't ban, like, when you leave all the imbalanced heroes left in the pool and you get second pick, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. And, yeah, second pick, OD. Maybe that's what Poseidon are going to go for here. It makes me wonder. I feel like they have to be up to something. There's no way these two bans were just, we don't really like Abaddon, let's ban him out. I mean, I want to give them more credit than that. They've got to be up to something here. And interesting, Doom going to be the third pick. And then they're going to third ban the Queen of Pain. Is it just me, or is this draft from Poseidon all sorts of kooky?
If I knew what kooky meant, I would say yes, but it sounds kooky.
Crazy. I don't know. I don't know what the actual definition is
for the draft. It's just, hey, let's just pick awesome heroes, and
yeah,
it's not standard, which is good though. I like the different take of these teams.
True that. I worry though, just by getting outmeted here, perhaps. Elder Titan and Lich off to a strong start. We'll see how RoX.KiS want to build their roster, though. We've seen, certainly in some cases, where teams get too caught up in drafting the really powerful heroes, and they end up with a team that has absolutely no synergy and 5 individually powerful heroes that don't really bring much to the table. So we certainly have seen that happen in the past. Don't know that that'll happen here, but just food for thought. With a draft like this, Klink's going to be the 4th ban out here for Poseidon.
What, you gave me Troll or you gave me Troll, Batrider, and Wisp? What do I do now? And that they like don't know what to do with all these OP heroes.
Yeah, it's happened. It's happened for sure. But Viper also banned out. That seems to be the theme of the 4 games we've casted today. The Viper ban. He's been banned in at least 3, if not all 4. So everybody just well, hating on the Viper.
He needs to get out of here, anyways.
So yeah, we'll see. Wonder how they're going to play this Doom. I think Poseidon, if I recall properly, they're a fan of the Position 1 Doom. I think they've run it quite a bit. So that may be what they're going for here, but we'll see. We'll see how the draft unfolds.
Indeed we will.
But RoX.KiS taking their sweet time here, really deliberating about who they want to take off the field here. Their 4th ban. I wonder.
I mean, I would just throw out a random hero, and it's probably better percent chance of
All right.
saying anything. Where's OD? Like, why
Yeah.
didn't either of these teams ban out OD?
I
The
was just
heroes are really
thinking
good.
fourth ban OD would probably work out, but a little more afraid of the Pugna. I don't know. Pugna just hasn't been quite as scary. I think part of the issue is you're really on a timer. He just falls off so quickly. You have that mid game where he's virtually unstoppable, but then you hit that point where he just becomes this kind of squishy skeleton that's so susceptible to any kind of initiation. But I guess some teams still aren't a fan of the Pugna action.
10 seconds remaining.
I guess not.
5 seconds remaining.
Pugna's a good hero.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him like utilized too effectively recently, but I mean he definitely has the potential to like be a top ban against some teams, but a lot of teams they just like see other teams use it and it doesn't really like mesh well with their strategy.
Yeah, I thought we were going to see more Necrobook action. Right after 6.79, we saw that kind of Necrobook craze, and that fell off pretty quickly as well. Not that it's the most viable of strategies, but I thought we would see it at least intermittently here and there, and it seems that that's not the case. Teams.
Yeah, it was really popular. I mean, 6.79, we've seen the phases of like everything, right? First, it was like we saw Hannah Midas craze, we saw Necrobook craze, we saw Pugna craze. Now it's the Venomancer craze. And like Viper is kind of up there too. Bristleback craze is also picking up. Like even Bone Clinks we've seen just like picked a lot recently. So I mean 6.79, it's not stale, which is really exciting for casters and viewers alike.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I have to admit, it was definitely getting a little bit like, okay, Bat Rider every game, OD every game, Wisp every game. And you're right. I've heard a lot of pros say that this patch is more about banning around your opponent's play style more so particular heroes
They
that
should
are
be.
just a step ahead of others. And I agree. Yeah, I think that's it adds a much better dynamic to the game than that static race for the best heroes. But speaking of that, in this match, it seems that RoX.KiS are sort of doing the former there. They've got Lifestealer, Lich, and Elder Titan, three very, very powerful heroes in this patch. So already, I don't know. I'm curious about how Poseidon are going to have the rest of their draft unfold here with Veno and Doom first picks. Especially the Doom picked up so early. And it makes me curious what they have up their sleeve.
Yeah.
But again, both teams taking their sweet time here. All right, going to be the Crystal Maiden, very standard support pick. Veno and CM, always potent. Both, potential for kind of a killer tri-lane, a lot of roaming action. So I don't have a problem with their supports. Just that position 1 Doom that there's just something telling me that that's what's going to be coming out from Poseidon.
You're a hater.
I'm a
Position
hater.
1 Doom.
Yeah,
I agree with you. I don't really like it that much. I think he's much more effective. Like, get your fast. Like, if you can get an easy kill early, then you should do it. Otherwise, just get level 6, then get an easy kill, and then Arcane Mech, and then help your team out. But he's like such a good carrier of auras with like Scorched Earth already like decently helping out himself and nice aura, and then you can get like Vlad's and Drums and the command aura. It's all pretty darn good.
Yeah, so Visage here, going to be the 4th pick for RoX.KiS, continuing on in their fashion of picking up the super powerful heroes. Really, all 4 of their heroes are first ban material that we see banned out pretty frequently. So, no complaints. Pretty standard so far. And Poseidon going to go ahead and grab themselves a Timber Saw. So their team...
Man, 4th pick Visage, that's such value. Like, what in the world?
A rarity indeed. But 4th pick Timber Saw, the draft of Poseidon starting to come to light a little bit. There's that Razor final ban. I think RoX.KiS are hoping for an OD last pick. And if Poseidon don't ban out OD right here, that could be really, really scary. Visage, Lich, Lifestealer tri-lane, Elder Titan off-lane, OD mid. That is a recipe for a bad game. And they're actually going to ban out the Storm Spirit. There it is. OD last pick for RoX.KiS. I like this draft they've got going on here, Merlini. I worry for Poseidon.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like 5. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would consider all 5 of these heroes overpowered. Is it going to mesh well, though? We will see OD mid, Elder Titan offlane, Lich doing whatever, Lifestealer positionally. Yeah, that sounds pretty darn strong to me.
It's pretty solid. I've got no complaints with any of those heroes in those positions. I mean, they are a little farm intensive with OD and Lifestealer, as we saw in the last match. It will take a little bit longer for them to come online, but as long as they can play defensive, not fall too far behind, they should be in pretty good shape. Lich will be there to slow down the momentum of the opposition.
Reserve time.
So what are we looking at here for a Poseidon 5th pick? either going to need an offlaner or that one position, depending on what they are going to want to do with the Doom. Though they can also grab a mid hero, and it's going to be the Shadow Fiend. So interesting choice. Tame My Wild going to be on the Shadow Fiend as well. So
Shadow Fiend OD matchup, I've seen ODs dominate. I've seen Shadow Fiends dominate too. I think it's like somewhat skill dependent, but I think for two players of equal skill, Shadow Fiend will have an edge like past level 5, but OD does have the potential to just run away with the matchup in 1 through 4 if he gets really far in CS. And Scandal, well, he was notorious for his TA back in the day. I expect him to perform on the OD in this match.
Yeah, absolutely. Two very powerful mid players, but yeah, I think the Shadow Fiend will have his work cut out for him, no doubt. So this is our last and final match of the day, guys, here at Starladder Season 8, Day 3 again. I'm Zyori, with me is Merlini, and let's go ahead and get into it. Introduce our rosters here. On the Radiant side, we do have Team Poseidon. Down in the bottom lane, looks like JOTM going to be playing on the Crystal Maiden. That'll be Illidan on the Doom, headed down to that bottom lane as well. Tame My Wild going to be solo mid on the Shadow Fiend. Up in the top lane, that leaves us with KSI on the Venomancer, and of course Solo going to be playing on the Timbersaw up in that top lane as well. On the Dire side, we got Team RoX.KiS. Sadoy going to be their solo safe lane player this match on the Elder Titan. In the mid, it's going to be Scandal playing on the Outworld Devourer. Right now, GoBlack, the one on the Lich. He is stationed about the mid lane, but very well may be rotating about. Y'all going to be the one on the Visage, and down in the bottom lane, Biz going to be hard farming on that Lifestealer.
Is it y'all or Yol? Y'all makes it sound like you're from Georgia,
Yol,
like myself.
Yol, but
it could be Yol, like
Yol.
YOLO.
I
don't know. We should ask him.
Ask him. I don't know. I've always said y'all.
Could be YOL.
YOL. Yeah, that's true. Y'all. Y'all.
Y'all.
I don't know. I need lessons on how to pronounce all the names. That's a feat in and of itself as a Dota caster.
It's pretty tough.
Yeah. Koikfa.
Well, he will pick up DD on bottom. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, how do you say that? I was like, I like tried and I just miserably failed, and then I heard someone say Koikfa over and over. But yeah, some of them are just really hard to say.
Yep. So double damage picked up on our buddy Y'all here on the Visage. He is going to rotate his way down to the bottom lane to join his friend Lifestealer, and they're going to put some early pressure on Illidan, the solo safe farming Doom at the moment. Looks like Veno may rotate his way down. So at present, we're sort of set up for a 2-1-2 kind of a setup, although Lich is in mid right now. GoBlack continuing to try and deny farm and give Scandal a bit of an edge over that Shadow Fiend. So we'll see Illidan in big trouble here, though. Y'all comes in, that double damage rune, making it so much easier to grab all that damage they need, and down goes Doom. First blood does come out onto the Visage, but still good news for that Lifestealer, no doubt.
Yeah, I thought that the Venomancer was going to be in a little bit of trouble. He actually hasn't taken up any skill point yet, but yeah, you cannot mess around with the DD early game.
Yeah, absolutely. Just so devastating. So that's going to put Doom off to a bit of a slow start here. He does have a good bit of regen sitting in the inventory. A pooled Tango, a set of Tangos himself, as well as that healing soul. Yeah, he's off to the slow start here. He is only 1-0 against the 2-4 Lifestealer, so Biz actually missing a couple of those last hits while going for that kill, but still very
you asked me the question about the support getting first blood. How do you feel about it?
Well, I go back and forth. Fnatic is the team that had told me originally that we try to give it to our supports because you know, we know our carries are going to get farmed, and our supports are the ones that are going to struggle in that early game while they're roaming around, and that's the time you really want to have ward coverage if necessary. You don't want to be stuck in that situation where your supports don't have enough money for proper ward coverage if you get countered or something unexpected. And I think that makes a lot of sense, but I can also understand the argument of your carry is your carry, and he needs as much as he can get, and that bit of momentum, if he gets the bonus gold, can carry him, you know, in that mid-game.
I think it's situational.
Yeah, absolutely. That's sort of what I'm getting at. I see both sides of it. At this point, I kind of tend to go with getting the first blood is more important. If there's even one time when you miss a first blood because you're trying to cater who gets it,
right,
that strategy already goes out the window. So getting the first blood is the absolute highest priority.
Yeah, I'm with that too. That's just so sad when you see people like trying to give people kills and it just goes and blows up in their face. That's awful.
Yeah, that's always a sad time. But let's talk about this off-lane a little bit. Timbersaw versus the Elder Titan. Seems Timbersaw getting the better of him. 15-6 right now against the 8-0 Elder Titan. So Sadoy not in too much trouble in terms of going down, but you know, doing pretty well. Or pardon me, Solo doing very well in terms of last hits. And also, interestingly enough, here an Orb of Venom in the inventory of that Timbersaw, an item that I don't think I've ever seen on Timbersaw.
I don't think I've ever seen that either.
It's a little strange.
It's cool. Yeah. What ifs? Yeah. I mean, Timbersaw already has a pretty big upper hand in that matchup, so I'm surprised that he's just not going arcane, so he can potentially kill him at level 6. Man, that's just not easy at all for Elder Titan, though.
Yeah. He is really struggling, as he well should be, just getting totally zoned out. Especially in this offlane, there's so many trees nearby, pretty much every whirling death is going to be pure damage. So you can sort of understand just on paper how Sidoi is getting zoned out so hard here. It looks like he is going to pick up a bottle. Much needed up here. And well, going to give him a little bit of sustain. At least he's getting experience, though. Looked like there was almost going to be a gank on Scandal in the mid lane. There was a rotation. A Gale did connect, but the position...
Shadow Fiend he's doing very, very well versus OD, actually. Like, Scandal has 75 damage right now, but Shadow Fiend actually has almost 90. And he is just a little bit behind his CS. And this is like before the 4-minute mark, before Shadow Fiend hits level 5. So I would say that Shadow Fiend won this lane.
Yeah, seems like it so far. Going to get thrown in the Astral once again, but only going to hurt him so much. Looks like we could see some action coming here at the bottom. Rune, Invisibility, or pardon me, Illusion going to spawn at the 4-minute mark. At the bottom position, KSI on the Veno going to grab it. The two supports of RoX.KiS were in transit, but unfortunately didn't make it in time. Thought we may see a bit of engaging, but nope. Pretty passive all around, though, Merlini. Both sides seem pretty comfortable just sitting back and farming, though the big disparity is this Doom versus the Lifestealer. Lifestealer sitting 22 and 11, or pardon me, 22 and 12. And right now, Illidan really struggling. He's almost level 4, does have 2 points in Devour, but only 5 creep kills on the board right now.
Yeah, he is a level 4, though, so I don't no idea how he got that much experience without actually getting that much CS, but maybe our friendly Crystal Maiden stole all his creep kills.
Yeah, she's got a 5 CS or so, so it looks like she has at least grabbed a couple here and there. Lich continuing to linger around the middle lane to try and slow down the Shadow Fiend as best he can and help out that OD, as you mentioned, OD. Maybe not on the back foot, but not dominating this lane as much as he should be, as kind of the longer this lane goes on, the higher level Shadow Fiend gets, the more difficult it will be, especially once he gets that 3rd point in Shadow Raise. That's when the Shadow Fiend burst becomes even more scary. Oh, pardon me, tunnel visioning on the Shadow Fiend as we see some exchanging up in the top lane. It looks like it's going to be a 2-for-1. No, Yol not going to be able to get that last auto attack off. KSI going to micro his way into the tree. He's going to throw that Plague Ward down for a little bit of space. Oh,
how do you get vision?
Oh my god,
I don't know. Oh, I think actually the Plague Ward attacking him gave him vision, and then he stood right next to the Plague Ward. If he like went like a tiny bit left, I think it would have been okay.
Wow, very unfortunate. So yeah, up in the top lane here, ends up being kind of set up for themselves. About 1,000 gold and somewhere about 2,000 experience here already, about the 6-minute mark.
Yeah, Scandal's been a little bit unlucky with Esansara procs too. I don't actually think he should have skilled Sandy's Eclipse at level 6 just because he's most likely not going to be getting a kill. And he really just needs to keep OD at like 0 mana so that he can't Shadow Raise at all. And that it is somewhat RNG dependent, but at the same time, you can keep a Shadow Fiend down in most circumstances. BZZ not having a terribly easy time on bottom. Looks like Doom has rotated him and harassed him a little bit. Doom, only level 4 though. He really needs to get that his namesake skill in order to shut him down.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate. If he happened to be level 6 right there, that would have been an easy kill onto Biz, but only level 4. Not much they can do. Just rages out of the Frostbite and just goes back to farming. Right now, Biz, I mean, he is actually doing remarkably well. Given he's been solo pretty much this entire match, he is leading the way with last hits, or at least neck and neck with that Timbersaw, who's doing pretty well in the top lane. So still not a huge amount of rotation coming about. Both sides just, you know, kind of on their side of the map. As it may be, again, that gold graph, well, leveling out a little bit, but RoX.KiS still with a decent lead set for themselves. I guess a good bit of that experience graph difference comes from the Lich here early on as well.
Yeah, Lich is just so good. So good. Only level 4 on him, though, which is not as high as I expected. Looks like Crystal Maiden is actually out leveling right now. BZZ about to die on bottom.
Yep, in a little bit of trouble again. Doom not going to have the ultimate, but I don't think it matters. No, Doom going to be able to finish him off. Does get a crit to finish him off in true form there. And Illidan going to get a nice little bit of recovery. Going to be very close to that level 6 mark now and get some much-needed income, which he has been
Sidoi on top.
Yep. Yep, the gank incoming. Go Black and Yol hiding near the secret shop, looking for an opportunity. Solo seems... well, he seems wise to it. He is going to back up closer to the tier 2, try to get back into safety zone. And nice heads-up play here. That will give Sidoi the opportunity to start pounding into that tier 1 tower. And now Solo going to venture towards the secret shop. That'll be enough to scare back the under-leveled supports, or at least the under-leveled Lich, as they may rotate back into the mid lane. Scandal is going to grab the bottom rune here at the 8-minute mark. It is going to be a haste. And, oh, pardon me, that was the 6-minute rune. And double damage rune going to spawn at the 8-minute mark. So... looks like double runes maybe coming out here for Scandal as he is going to head up and bottle up the DD. And, of course, going to take him back.
BZZ might die again.
Full mana. Oh, Whew, close and fest. Close and fest indeed.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of pressure on his tower. And he's like, where's my team, guys? He does need help. Like, what is a solo life stealer supposed to do versus a level 6 Doom and a Venomancer who's also level 6? He can't really do that much. But at the same time, I can understand why RoX.KiS is mid, because they're like, hey, we need to kill Shadow Fiend. He hasn't died yet. But I think it's probably more important to get your life stealer farm out, because once he gets a Basher, all you do is just like latch on like permanently to the Shadow Fiend, and it makes his life miserable.
Yeah. Absolutely. So 3-2 here at the 9-minute mark. RoX.KiS still holding on to their lead, though once this, I guess actually this tier 1 tower falling might give them a little bit of lane control down here in the bottom, so Biz can farm a little bit more safely. But as you mentioned, the support's going to rotate his way, as the rest of Poseidon going to rotate into the jungle here. Doom is going that farming build, though. 3 points in Devour. I wonder if he's going to go for a Midas. Does have those phase boots, another 1,000 gold in the bank. If he wants Midas, about halfway there. So time will tell.
I don't think it's that bad of this game, especially considering how passively both teams have been playing. It might just be a farm war, and they don't want to lose out on a late game simply because he didn't get a Midas.
Right. Yeah, and that seems to be what it seems like. Any Midas on the field? No, not quite yet, but a very early Medallion of Courage on the Visage could potentially open up an opportunity for RoX.KiS to take a semi-early Roshan if the opportunity presents itself. But Sadoy in the top lane here could be in a little bit of trouble. Lich going to rotate his way up. Still only level 4, so not really that close to the Chain Frost. KSI on the Veno is level 6, so it does have that...
Oh, they scout out the Veno with the nice spirit that was returning.
Yep.
Illidan, though, is there. He's ready to doom some people.
Yep, he's got Doom off cooldown. He's going to come around the backside. Thought he may drop it onto the Lich, but no, not going to do it. Double damage rune going to be activated by the OD. Thought he may try and pour it out to make something happen, but I think he's just going to be happy soaking up a bit of free farm in the mid lane here as the rotations are happening. Shadow Fiend moving into the jungle to pick up a little bit of farm. A little bit unfortunate for Poseidon, though. They were trying to set the trap and perhaps make something happen up here. It looks like they'll set her for just...
How are you going to push for his ET, though? Like, they're trying, but he... Like, Veno's almost, like... He's, like, less than half HP just because of the Elder Titan spam, and I don't really know why they're sticking around the top so much. Yeah,
putting in a lot of resources here, wasting a lot of potential farming time. And,
Yol is going to die.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yep, down he goes.
Wow,
Tame My Wild.
What a familiar summon.
Yep, Tame My Wild gonna fall to the wrath of Biz, but now Biz gonna be in big trouble. Yeah, the port down from the Timber Saw gonna be enough to finish him off. So a 2-for-1 swing, but they do lose their Shadow Fiend, though I suppose it's worth it as they do get a much-needed kill on that Life Stealer, who's still farming pretty hard here, leading the way in last hits. Gonna be tied up 4-4 here at the 11-minute mark. The action may not be over yet. Go Black, yeah, he's gonna be in some trouble. He's got Doom on, and at this point, Doom might actually be enough just to finish him off. The Astral Imprisonment gonna come. That'll buy him a little bit of time. The Scorched Earth doing a good bit of damage as well. Lich going to be able to survive it. Very nicely done by Scandal. Don't know that he's going to have enough to finish off Illidan here. Y'all going to be on his way in. He's going to throw the slow. Doom going to be in trouble. Insanity's Eclipse going to come out, but I actually don't think it connected with the Doom. They're going to throw the Astral Imprisonment out, and they may try to set up this kill here onto the Timbersaw. Need to be very careful, though. He can put out a lot of damage himself. That'll be enough to finish off the Lich. Scandal dangerously low, but Solo is just about out of mana here. Doesn't have enough for a Timber Chain here. Not going to have the Arcane Boots for another 15 seconds. Going to get thrown into another Astral. And yeah, he's going to be in big trouble here. Going to stagger the stuns thanks to those familiars, and Timbersaw is destined to fall. While all that was happening, Venomancer did grab himself a kill on that Elder Titan, so kills happening all over the place. But when everything settles down, going to end up still being tied in hero kills 6-6.
I don't know how Elder Titan died right there. Like, he has a TP scroll in his inventory, and like if he's pushing your tower, you just Elder Titan Spirit spam from far range, and if he goes on you, you just TP out. So not exactly sure how that happened, but it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I missed it as well, checking out the other action that was afoot. But Sadoy going to make it back to lane. Well, how is Sadoy doing? He is now 1-2, so he has conceded 2 deaths. Not too
He's
bad.
level 9, though. I think that's more important.
Yeah, exactly.
Farm.
Soaking up that experience. And Biz still just farming away down in the bottom lane. He does now have Gloves of Haste. Not sure if that's going to be for a Midas or for
Midas
an
Gaming.
Yeah, could be in, we'll see. Looks like it could be the Armlet. He did just pick up that Helm of Iron Will, so it looks like he's not going to be going for the Midas.
Where's the Midas?
There's one on OD, though.
I mean, it's nice versus Shadow Fiend, though. Like, Shadow Fiend, you really need more armor, or just get right-click down, and he needs to have, like, some sort of survivability, even though he's going to get doomed most of the time.
Sadoy going to be in trouble up here in the top lane. It's a 3v1 scenario. Double damage on the Crystal Maiden. Going to come forward and not going to connect with that Crystal Nova, nor will the Chakram connect. And Sadoy going to luck out in this one. Going to be able to survive.
Mass Plague Wards on top. That spell is so annoying. And Sadoy like constantly has to just park himself up here so his tower doesn't die. And you don't want to give Poseidon a free tower at this point in the game, especially when that means you'll lose control of your jungle.
Yeah, and this gold graph was in favor of RoX.KiS for a while, but now pretty much leveled out slightly in favor of Poseidon, though experience still going the way of RoX.KiS. So I think you're exactly right. Keeping this tower alive is, well, a valued strategy here for RoX.KiS. Poseidon kind of unrelenting with the pressure, and now Sadoi going to be in some trouble. This time the Crystal Nova going to connect, Chakram going to be on point, and Gale going to fly, not going to connect. It'll be enough to secure the kill. Timbersaw going to walk away. 1 kill richer, and now this top tier 1 tower going to be in a little bit of trouble. Yola is nearby on the Visage, but it is a 1v3 with all these Plague Wards. I think he's going to be hard-pressed to defend this tower too easily. They still have Glyph.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy for them to defend, but I mean, they've been doing a good job at doing it, buying time for OD to farm, buying time for Lifestealer to farm too. So all is like not that loss for them when Sadoi keeps dying on top.
Right. Yeah, and with that, I mean, Scandal is just soaking up the farm. He is #1 on net worth now, compliments of that Midas that he was able to pick up. So going to be working towards probably a mech.
Uh-oh, Yo on top.
Yep, the push staff, but oh, he's just going to get obliterated. Freezing Field going to come out as well. Crystal Maiden going to walk away with that last hit. Sadoi going to pour it in, and JOTM going to be hard-pressed to survive. Going to try and pour it out. Astral Imprisonment going to be used. Probably not even necessary. I think Sadoi may have been able to finish him off, but there it is as he pops out. One last auto attack. A Chakram does come to try and scare him off. Unfortunately, that damage not going to be too intimidating in the face of grabbing a kill.
Veno on bottom.
And, oh, yeah, Veno on bottom going to get taken out. And is Illidan, does he have a Doom? No, not going to have a Doom available, so I think Biz going to be able to survive this as he does hop out. Man. Well, it's a passive game. Now all these kills happening at the same time. But yes,
tower
tier 1 in trouble. Wow, the ward going to be able to grab the last hit. Nicely played by Poseidon. First tower kill of the match. Going to go their way.
Venomancer picks up a Midas with that, so actually a pretty costly tower for RoX.KiS. I don't exactly know when the Doom was used, but he didn't actually have it up, and he was able to, and BCZ was able to get an easy kill because of that. And yeah, Scandal, is he going to go for a mech, which they desperately need? Is he, oh no, actually this is probably going to go for a mech, so Scandal, either Force Staff or I think Force Staff is definitely better than any of the other options at this point.
Yeah, definitely going to need some sort of survivability item, and as you mentioned, the mech on the Visage already underway. He's got the Buckler, so going to be working towards it. I think Force Staff is a pretty safe assumption here. That is going to be the armlet here on Lifestealer, though. It's in transit via the courier right now, so that is good news for Biz. Again, not going for the Hand of Midas. So does this make you a little bit nervous here, seeing a non-Hand of Midas Lifestealer in a match like this that's so even and static farm oriented?
It depends on whether he can, like, if it helps him survive like twice or get like 2 kills because of it, then I think it's completely worth it. But if he's just going to farm up and play passively like his team has pretty much been doing for the past 15 minutes, then it's not worth it.
Right. I would agree with that. And now that RoX.KiS are starting to lose their towers, another one going to go down here. Does get denied by Outworld Devourer this time. Total tower count is going to be 2-0 in favor of Poseidon. Though, of course, as we just saw, one of them getting denied, so it could be worse, I suppose, for RoX.KiS. It's about to be 3-0 here as this top tier 1 taking a lot of damage, but whoa, lots of ports on their way. Look at that Astral Imprisonment. Going to interrupt the Timber Chain that will secure the second tower denied here for RoX.KiS. They're going to be able to finish off the Timber Saw, though the fight's not over yet. Doom going to use his ultimate on the Lifestealer, and it's going to cost him his life. He's going to get taken out. Lich going to grab that last hit, and it's not over quite yet. Lich going to throw the Chain Frost, going to do a lot of damage to that CM, and oh no, this fight just going disastrously for Poseidon. There's going to be a buyback here coming out from Timbersaw, and an ultimate from Shadow Fiend will clean up the Lifestealer and the OD. 3 big kills coming out as he finishes off the Elder Titan as well, and now Yol going to fall. It's a swing the other way. The only one left alive is the Lich as he does head for the hills. At first, RoX.KiS commandeering the fight. The buyback, though, from Timbersaw, completely worth it as they do turn it around and get 4 cleanup kills.
Oh, Lifestealer was so close to surviving that. He like ran into the Requiem thinking that his rage was up. It was like literally like a quarter of a second off cooldown. He also had his Infest up, so I think if he like popped into his teammate and then dodged the thing and then like went on him afterwards, it would have been a lot different fight because they were just like cleaning up. Chain Frost flew out and they were very close to taking that fight even after Timbersaw fought back, but just a little bit too much damage flying around.
Yep. Absolutely, and that was a big swing of momentum, not only because it was an even swing in kills, but Shadow Fiend picking up a triple kill right there, and also finishing off the Outworld Devourer and the Lifestealer. Lich, the only one surviving. Of all the heroes to survive, you really don't want it to be the Lich if you can prevent it and keep maybe your OD or your Lifestealer alive. So now this Shadow Fiend, 5-1-1, and #1 on the net worth chart by a pretty significant margin. That's going to be enough to complete his BKB, and he's got another 1,800 gold or so to play around with. That's going to be scary here for RoX.KiS in the upcoming moments.
Yeah, it's super scary for them right now. And yeah, if they had a mech right there, it would have been a completely different fight. So, like, they could have waited until that. I think they need to pick and choose their fights a little bit better. RoX.KiS.
Yeah, absolutely. He's getting a little bit closer now as that Ring of Regen, but still a little ways off. And Poseidon just have that luxury now of to get a little bit more aggressive. They got about a 4,000 gold advantage. Experience graph not too significant, about 1,200 or so, but pretty solid advantage they have for themselves in this early game. That's going to be a round of items or so that they can grab. OD now going to have his Force Staff, so that will help out RoX.KiS by a huge margin here. OD getting that first mobility item is always a big time, or a big milestone, I should say.
Yeah, Visage and the rest of RoX.KiS can do Roshan kind of soon, but they don't have any map control right now, and Venomancer constantly dropping his wards down. Is just all their lanes are like pushed very close to their T2s right now, and RoX.KiS can't really do anything about it. So Poseidon gonna get like a decent amount of farm by being able to take out their own jungle as well as opponent's jungle for the next few minutes. Experience graph finally favoring RoX.KiS or finally favoring Poseidon rather, and gold graph 4,000 in their favor too.
Yeah, absolutely right about that. And it is tied up 12-12 though. And this is one of these games where it's pretty obvious. I think RoX.KiS have that carry advantage. Poseidon should be in okay shape if they continue to put this pressure on. Knocking down the tier 1 towers is the easy part. Knocking down the tier 2 towers a little bit more difficult. And you know, getting that advantage in the mid game while your team is kind of peaking a little bit is pretty important. Also, the Timbersaw now, he's actually doing pretty damn well himself. Looking at the net worth chart, he is, well, I guess par for the course. Not as well as he was a few moments ago, but well enough to grab his Bloodstone here at the 19.5
This is really
mark.
smart. Three-man smoke into Roshan when Lifestealer's not there. They don't expect them to be taking out Roshan when Lifestealer's not there. Oh, it looks like actually Shadow Fiend may check there. He has a haste, so in case he gets in a little bit of trouble. But yeah, they don't actually have Frost Armor. I thought Frost Armor was going to be there.
Yeah. Roshan does fall though. Aegis going to end up in the inventory of the Outworld Devourer. So a very
Sedoya's
crafty little...
might die in middle.
Yeah, little Roshan, he's in a bit of trouble here. Tame My Wow going to start throwing those auto attacks. Oh, he's going to get Force Staff down to the low ground, get put in an Astral. I'm not sure he's going to be able to survive this, but still a pretty crafty play for the Great Escape. The Shadow Raise is going to come out, and that'll finish him off as he tries to port home. Probably should have just saved that port. Going to waste a little bit of gold, but still a noble effort as he tried to make the Great Escape.
Yeah, Sedoya has been just dying everywhere, though. 2 and 5 on him. Not the greatest, but he's... I wouldn't say he's, like, creating space for them, but I guess it's better that he dies than some of the other heroes on RoX.KiS.
Yeah, fair enough. When you have a Lifestealer and the OD, those are the two big ones. But going to add another kill to the board for that Shadow Fiend. And as we mentioned, he is already a force to be reckoned with, still holding steady as #1 on the net worth chart. And,
coming from behind with Doom.
Yep, going to grab the Yasha down in the bottom lane. Here it is. Oh, Doom going to interrupt that Lifestealer. Gale going to come out, and yeah, Biz going to be destined to fall. Down he goes. Y'all going to try to port out, and he does make it. Crystal Maiden not going to have the cooldown on that Frostbite to interrupt it. And that'll be a kill going the way of Poseidon. A much needed kill as well on that farming Lifestealer, while the rest of the team pressuring that top tier 2 tower. It's going to go down pretty quickly here. Astral Imprisonment going to be used on the Shadow Fiend. He's going to come back out. Does have a Requiem of Souls. He's going to be able to burn the Aegis on top of the OD here. Does have the BKB on. Is he going to burn the Requiem? Nope, doesn't look like it. Trying to finish off that tower. Glyph going to be used to mitigate that one last auto attack, and they're going to be forced to retreat. Tame My Wow going to be in big trouble here. Astral Spirit going to be up in about 3 seconds. Force Staff forward. Does try to get... Was that a double Requiem? Oh, it was. Yeah. Very nicely done. Timbersaw going to go in. He's going to be able to clean up a kill on the OD and then commit suicide. So a pretty crafty little play from the Shadow Fiend right there.
Yeah, and Poseidon also getting the bottom tower too. That's really big for them. And now they're getting like just commandeering the whole entire map right now. Took the T2 on top, took the T2 on bottom. Timbersaw suicided, took down the Aegis on the OD as well as the second life. Things are going very well for them right now. And Lifestealer, he's like trying to catch up and farm, but it doesn't really matter because he's just going to get doomed for most of these fights.
Yeah, and I mean, without the Midas, his recovery mechanism isn't really that great. The further behind he falls, the harder it's going to be. Looks like he is going to be working towards a basher. Does have the javelin and the belt of ogre strength, or just the belt of strength. That's the the ogre club I was thinking of, or the ogre axe rather. But yeah, Shadowblade now picked up on the Doom as well. So momentum really go in the favor of Poseidon. About 7,500 gold lead. Experience graph continuing to go in their favor. But now that Doom's got this Shadowblade, he's going to grab an Orb of Venom as well. So that's now 2 Orbs of Venom on the Radiant side. Thoughts about that? An item that
I think it's just
today I haven't seen much of.
They want all of it to stack on the Lifestealer, like Venomancer with his Venomous Gale, with the Poison Sting, with the Orb of Venom. That is just so much slow to deal with, and it's slow from Chakram too, and Crystal Nova. Like, you're pretty much just like standing still.
Yeah, that's a good point. All that stacking slow. Lifestealer is not so strong if he can't get up into your face and get those right clicks off. So certainly a fair point. Crystal Maiden now going to grab herself a Midas. So that time for Poseidon supports when they start to get a little bit of extra income as well. Looks like Timbersaw going to be working towards a BKB of his own.
Yeah, it's weird when the supports get it and Doom and Shadow Fiend don't.
Yeah. Yeah, a little strange. I really would have thought Doom was going to go hand to Midas this game, but that's A-okay. His build's working pretty well for him here. He's got a reasonably timely Shadow Blade, and he's trying to get a bit more aggressive with it. We see Illidan roaming around the bottom lane, around the Dire Ancients, though he is going to get out just in the nick of time as RoX.KiS were starting to converge about that area. RoX.KiS seem pretty eager to get aggressive here. They're kind of a 5-man team at the moment, now moving towards the mid lane. Their last remaining outer tower is the tier 2 in the mid, down to about half health or so, and they're looking for an engage. Going to try and catch this Timbersaw, but I think Solo going to be just fine as he does make it back to the trees. Yep, going to be able to Timber Chain away. So maybe RoX.KiS can group up and just start knocking down some towers. They've yet to secure a single tower kill, and that is one of many factors contributing to this huge gold disparity, and I think they are definitely well advised here to group up and try and start chipping away at these tier 1s.
One thing I didn't really like coming out from RoX.KiS is their decision to put Lich on bottom. I think that they would have had like decent lane control anyways without him, and they really needed to win the other 2 lanes. Scandal did not win mid. It was kind of a wash, but a wash is kind of a loss for OD. Right. And top lane, Sidoi just got wrecked. Looks like Venomancer about to take a spill.
Yep, here we go. We see the Lifestealer off by himself, poking at the Venomancer, and Outlaw Devourer going to be able to finish off the Timbersaw. Tame My Wild still has the Reckoning of Souls. We'll see how he wants to use it here. Sidoi could be in a little bit of trouble. He's pretty low. He's going to be forced to back out. In comes Visage. That'll be enough to finish off the Crystal Maiden. The Lifestealer did get picked off by the Doom in the mix after finishing off the Venomancer. So far for RoX.KiS, though, this fight is going their way. It's a 1 for 3. Lifestealer, the only one that's gone down. No buybacks have been used yet in this fight. Tame My Wild on the run, and he's gonna fall as there's a 4-stick forward from Scandal. Gonna drop the Insanity's Eclipse. I keep saying Insanity. It's just Sanity's Eclipse. Sanity's Eclipse there, and it's gonna make it a 1 for 4. Unfortunately,
Insanity's Eclipse would not be a bad name.
Yeah, it seems more appropriate, but Sanity's Eclipse there. Still, a very convincing team fight for RoX.KiS. Some much needed momentum. They're gonna grab themselves their first tower kill to follow up that fight as well.
I don't really know how that fight went so poorly for Poseidon. It might simply just like be the mech that just came out from Visage, and that's a pretty darn big item. But at the same time, they got the Doom off on the Lifestealer, like Requiem. Oh, he actually didn't cast Requiem, but I mean, Shadow Fiend was able to just walk in there, BKB, right-click some people down. But it seemed like they just did a really good job of kiting them and took down their heroes really quickly. But maybe it was a chain frost. I don't actually know how all these people fell so fast. Sandy's Eclipse was used late. The Earthshake or Earth Splitter was used really late too, so I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I want to say Lifestealer sort of boxing out the Venomancer. He was out of the fray, and then that drug the Doom to sort of focus on the Lifestealer. So it ended up kind of being a 4v5 for the rest of RoX.KiS versus Poseidon. So I think splitting up that Lifestealer, being almost the sacrificial lamb there, was enough to pull the Doom out of position. And yeah, he got the Doom off and secured the kill, but you know, he wasn't using Scorched Earth, wasn't right-clicking with that crit Pack Leader's aura in the fray. And honestly, I don't know if that Pack Leader's aura was with the rest of the team because Doom was so far back trying to tango with the Lifestealer. So small things, but they add up in a team fight like that.
Yeah, I also think like Shadow Fiend like trying to chase up this hill is not a good thing, especially when you don't have your BKB up, and he got caught out by Astral and they just chased him down. But getting that kill on Shadow Fiend was really big, especially without OD dying, and now without OD dying, and now he has a Scythe of Ice to complement the rest of his items. And
that is scary. A pretty timely Scythe of Ice. We did see I think the last game it was a little bit faster, but still a pretty quick one here for Scandal. He can't be too upset about that farm. And following that fight, he's now #1 on the net worth chart by about 2,000 gold, so he's about half an item ahead of Shadow Fiend right now. And we see that Lifestealer nipping at his heels, 9.3k.
So who would you doom at this point, the Lifestealer or the OD? I would definitely say OD, but I don't know if they're actually going to be like able to get on him.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tricky. I think the OD right now is certainly more of a damage dealer with the Sanity's Eclipse, as we sort of saw at the tail end of that fight, but this Lifestealer is a force to be reckoned with already. I mean, he's got the Basher complete now, another 1,700 gold in the bank. I'd be curious to see what he grabs next. I don't know. Do you think he's going to go AC, perhaps, or is this going to be a fast Abyssal kind of game to try and cut through the BKB of Shadow Fiend?
Mm, I think AC would be better for his team, just because I don't think he's going to have that much uptime, because I think he's going to constantly be doomed.
Hmm.
And just in general survivability items, like if you can't afford AC, then just go Sage for more HP. If you can't afford a Sage, then just finish off your drums. So it just really depends on what Lifestealer wants to do. But I think HP is the name of the game here, just because like if you have a chance of surviving throughout the Doom with like defensive Astral, with Mech, even with like Frost Armor mitigating a lot of the physical damage coming in afterwards. Like I think that that's going to be really, really big for them, and then you can just infest back up and be right back in the fight. But like it's still a pretty tall order.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Hardened Terrace could be an option for Lifestealer in this game. We've certainly seen it a time or two. And
Even Lincolns, I
Yeah.
think, would not be that bad. But the problem is like when you don't have a Midas and you keep on dying, you're not going to be able to get any sort of farm.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a cause for concern. The lack of Midas make it a lot harder just to say, let me just get a casual Lincolns here. You have to invest a little bit more of that hard-earned money into the defensive route, maybe not where they want to go. Roshan not going to be up quite yet as RoX.KiS do rotate their 5-man train around the Roche pit and then down into the bottom lane here. Perhaps looking to pick up a team fight, but not going to find it.
Maybe someone can
Poseidon
pick
do
up a
back
Lincolns
up.
for him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a new change, right? We can just give him Lincolns.
Yeah.
Could certainly help, but unfortunately, Doom has so many other abilities to burn it with. That level death is a...
Not if he's in rage. You can like rage and then get Lincolns and then just like
Alright.
hop inside somebody until he rages up again. I don't know.
Alright.
It seems. I mean, I guess it's okay that he's like the tank and just like tanks Doom every time, so Udi can go to work.
Right. Right, that's true, yeah. And this may be a silly question, but if Lifestealer is raged, he can be doomed, right? Like Doom
He can
cuts
be
through
doomed.
rage. Yeah, it's
Right.
like superior or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. I thought so. I was pretty sure. Of course that's why Doom kind of counters Lifestealer to some degree. But okay, it's interesting. If you put the rage on and then the Lincolns, he can't just doom you straight away. All right, I see the synergy.
There used to be a strategy where like people would just pick Queen of Pain when Queen of Pain was like considered really good, and he would just rush Lincolns on her and get an Omni Knight and just repel. And then if they defuse, you take out the Lincolns, and she was like pretty much unstoppable at that point. And then people figured out that it wasn't actually that good because
Still, ridiculous.
Yeah, it was because then you just have Lifestealer who's tax damage and doesn't need repel and is one hero. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So Roshan going to respawn here, going to fall again at the 30-minute mark. A fair bit of minus armor from RoX.KiS. mean Roche is just going to get obliterated. He falls in a matter of seconds, it seems. Poseidon not going to even have the opportunity to contest it. I guess they had a little bit of vision on the high ground on the other side. There may have been a gap where they could get in, but second Roshan going to go down in favor of RoX.KiS. Aegis of the Immortal in the inventory of the OD. Who else? Now OD has another ultimate.
Oh, I think he is going Lincolns.
Yeah,
Nice.
is he? He's gonna take
I think
heat
the
here.
big turning point in this game is when RoX.KiS decided to take out the first Roshan, because Poseidon like had all the T2 towers down almost, and they like Poseidon was like pretty much in control of the whole entire map, and then next logical thing after T1, T2, Roshan, and then T3, right? But they interrupted progression, and then now they're like, oh crap, what do we do? And then they weren't able to keep up any of the pressure, and then RoX.KiS definitely right back in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've been holding on to, well, not holding on to a lead. They've been holding their momentum, I think is the right way to say. The lead for Poseidon has not been growing, kind of plateaued at that 6,000 gold lead as these tier 1 towers do get knocked down, and RoX.KiS close that tower gap. Right now it is 5-3 in total tower count. That gold graph will start to go in their favor even more, as well as that Midas and the inventory of OD going to start to pay off. But RoX.KiS, they're going to stick around here. They took out the tier 1 and they're looking for an opportunity to fight. Venomous Gale going to be used to start things off. Tame My Wild going to take a lot of damage. Doom going to be burned on the OD this time. Lich going to be the first to fall. Did he get the Chain Frost off? Indeed he did before he went down, so it could have been a lot worse. Crystal Maiden going to fall, but Veno going to be able to finish off the Lifestealer once again. RoX.KiS not finding the engage they were looking for. Lifestealer down. Aegis going to be burned, and now Scandal could find himself in a little bit of a rough situation. No, Solo trying to get aggressive here, and he's going to get sheeped as he tries to Timber Chain across, and he will get dropped right here. So RoX.KiS going to find at least a bit of recovery. No buybacks were used, so that means it was a 2-for-2 exchange. A little surprise there. Unfortunately, I guess kind of a 2-for-3, given that the Aegis was burned, but still, RoX.KiS holding steady.
Yeah, they weren't able to get the Doom out on the Lifestealer that time. He tried to latch onto the Shadow Fiend, but Shadow Fiend just Mantis-styled away. He actually almost died through his BKB and was kind of forced to turn tail and run. But Lifestealer is not doing an extremely good job of like kiting them. Like he just like latches on rages, and then once his rage is off, he like dies, and a lot of life stealers like they just try and kite, right? When your rage is about to cool down or about to run out, you run away, you try and infest into one of your teammates and wait it out just so you can do damage for round 2. And he has had a lot of trouble surviving. He has the most deaths in the game right now, sitting at 6, but at the same time, Scandal is picking up a lot of the slack, and when he doesn't get Doom, Scandal just goes down.
Right. So Shadow Fiend right here has an invisibility rune on. In that last fight, you're right, he didn't really get to do much. He basically popped his BKB, was about ready to attack, and then
he got bashed.
Got obliterated. Like, yeah.
Lifestealer with bash is just like, what can a Shadow Fiend do? And it's just so annoying. Like, even though Shadow Fiend has more net worth than Lifestealer can like easily kill him in a one-on-one situation, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. So I mean, Shadow Fiend didn't even get his Requiem of Souls off that the last fight. So a little unfortunate. It may have been a little more one-sided if the engage had gone another way, where that Shadow Fiend could have at least gotten a couple of right clicks off. But at least he didn't die, which is maybe the counterpoint to that. He does now have a Manta and picking up a Chrysalis as his next big item. So it looks like the Shadow Fiend going to be working towards more of a hard carry kind of a build, and a Halberd now in the inventory. The Elder Titan, always a powerful item, and of course, if you can disarm that Shadow Fiend, those right clicks are just a little less effective. So always a good item pick up on the Elder Titan. But
they need a pipe. RoX.KiS does. Like, Venomancer Ultimate is just ridiculous, and it's really good versus Doom and Requiem and Freezing Field. So I think they should pick one up on either Visage or Lich. Looks like Lich could probably get it. He's going drums, and Visage is going a Scepter. But even if they get it at like 50 minutes, it's still completely worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. So are there any other big item pickups that we've missed here? Timbersaw now has his BKB complete. Not sure
Lincoln's on OD.
And oh yeah, there it is. So he did actually finish the Lincolns, and we'll see how he uses it in these upcoming team fights, if he's just going to leave it on himself, or if he's going to execute Operation Protect the Lifestealer, as we were kind of talking about. But wow, there it is. Lifestealer actually is going to go for the Abyssal Blade build.
No, I mean, now that he has a Lincoln's, you can just go to town. Like, Lincoln's him rage and just lash on and Abyssal the anybody.
I guess
pretty
that's
much.
true.
You can. Yeah, and they can just make the fight a 45 instead of it being the other way around. So I think, like, I wasn't a fan of the Abyssal pickup, but now that OD has Lincolns and cast on him, I like it a lot more.
Yeah, we'll see how it works for him. Still a little bit of a gamble, perhaps. They're going to need that Lincoln's. It takes a lot of coordination, I guess, is what I should really say, instead of it being a gamble. Maybe not the easiest thing to execute, but if they can pull it off, should certainly work well for him. OD still continuing just to soak up the farm. Look at that net worth chart. I mean, he's still a good 4.5k ahead of that Shadow Fiend. So Scandal definitely the force to be reckoned with here on the side of RoX.KiS.
Shiva's refresher, GG on him. Venomancer has a scepter. They definitely need like a pipe, like really badly now.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Pipe, just an undervalued item in general. I think not enough teams picking up pipe, really, especially against a Veno.
Radiant's courier.
So we'll see here.
The
courier
for the chicken.
Yeah, was there anything on it? I did not see the.
I don't believe so. I think it was returning from giving Venomancer a scepter.
Okay, yeah, I think that's right. So, well, I guess that smoke was worth it, getting the courier. Took all 5 of them, but they...
I think that RoX.KiS just needs to like put pressure on the map if they need to. Like, if they're pushing into T2s, yeah, you need to put some pressure on the map. If they're playing passively, you just play passively yourselves and control the Roshan bit. That is the most important thing for RoX.KiS, to secure that, get the Aegis up on OD, maybe cheese on the Lifestealer or vice versa, and then you can take a big team fight at the T2 there. So the gold graph is actually only about 3,500, 4,000 in favor of Poseidon. Oh, big fight.
Yep, here we go. Solo going to be the first one to get picked off. Doom going to be used on the OD once again, so now Biz going to have kind of free reign. Earthsplitter going to come out, not going to connect with too much. RoX.KiS, although they've picked up the only kill that's come out in this fight so far. They're on the back foot a little bit, and now they're going to turn for the aggression. Venomancer going to fall. Shadow Fiend going to fall shortly after. Down goes the Doom. It's a 4-for-0 exchange so far. Crystal Maiden, the only one left alive, going to get put in that Astral... Oh, pardon me, that's the Lich in the Astral Imprisonment. I thought that was the CM. So CM going to be able to make it out. I guess JOTM just ported the hell out of there, but wow, RoX.KiS with
that's what happens when you don't Doom the Lifestealer. Like, he just crushed everybody. He executed so well that fight. He latched onto the Shadow Fiend, abyssaled him. He hopped in for infest until everything was down, and then he just went in again and just like cleaned up so badly.
Yeah, absolutely right. That's the second fight in a row now that Doom's used his ultimate onto the OD, and it didn't really work out well for them either time. And looking at the hero levels now, this is where things start to get scary. Scandal is level 22, 3 levels ahead of the next highest, and there's a sort of trio here at level 19. So Scandal, I think, is officially out of control. He's got another 2,700 gold in the bank for whatever he wants to grab next, as it looks like RoX.KiS may be able to grab themselves a tier 2 tower kill to follow up that fight as we move into a pause here. Looks like Sadoy having a connection issue, but he's going to get right back in. Should be a short pause.
Wasn't this a 5th pick OD? It was like first pick Elder Titan Lich, and then...
Yes, it was a 5th pick OD.
Yeah, like...
5th ban Razor, 5th pick OD.
That's just ridiculous. Letting a team get OD like that, especially like a player like Scandal who is a dominant solo mid, is just usually does not work out. I thought that Poseidon were doing pretty well in the early game, but now that you have 2 really farmed heroes that you need to worry about, like OD who has like 50% more net worth than the Shadow Fiend, and Lifesteal who's still right above the Shadow Fiend right now, like it's just, who do you do?
Yeah, exactly. They're between a rock and a hard place here, as we see the gold graph now dipping in favor of RoX.KiS for the first time in quite some while in this match. Experience graph way in their favor. So yeah, you're exactly. It was interesting to see Poseidon use their final ban on Storm Spirit as well. I mean, Storm Spirit is a very powerful hero, but he doesn't have that same devastating impact that OD does, I think, when left unchecked. So I would have much preferred the OD ban rather than Storm Spirit if I was Poseidon.
Yep, they may be regretting it now. They're like, crap, why do we give them OD? I think a lot of teams have been thinking that this past week.
Yeah. So that will be the end of the tier 2 tower in the mid lane. Now only a 1 tower advantage for Team Poseidon, and that gold lead they had is going to be something of the past here. Thoughts though?
BCZ might get caught out though.
Yep.
Illidan going there with Doom.
Uh-oh, Doom's invisible here. Does he have the ulti? Another 5 seconds. Oh no, going to be so close. Biz going to luck out just a little bit right there. Grabbing that haste rune that spawned, and he is going to be safe and sound.
SF might be in trouble. No.
Looks like our dire side may be working towards a pipe here. Yol going to be able to grab himself a Hood of Defiance on that Visage. That is one farmed Visage, man. He's got a mech, Oggs, Hood, and a medallion.
What is up with Visages? Wow, this is like a 3-minute respawn. That's very unfortunate for RoX.KiS, especially since they maintain map control right now. This gets doomed.
Yep. Oh, there it is. He's going to get doomed in the top lane. Oh, a big 450 crit right there. It might be enough to finish him off. I think it is. And, oh, the mech going to come in. That'll heal him up just a little bit. Unfortunately, only going to buy him a few seconds. Now, Illidan going to pop the BKB. A very short-lived BKB at that. I think it's down to 7 seconds. Wow. The Lich going to burn the chain ulti. That is going to make it at least a 1-for-1. Shadow Fiend going to come around the backside. Is going to burn the Requiem of Souls. That'll send Sadoy headed for the hills. But Yol, as well as the OD here, have... The Timber Saw on their sights, pardon me, is going to Timber Chain away, and looks like he will be able to survive. So that is going to be a 2-for-1 exchange. The Veno got picked off kind of somewhere in the fray right there, and I don't know I really don't know who came out ahead right there. Lifesteal were the most valuable target, but it was a 2-for-1. Yeah, break even.
Yeah. They did use Doom, so if Poseidon were to go back in, they would just get wrecked. So I think it's perfectly acceptable for them to run away right there. But at the same time, Roshan is coming up soon. Looks like Doom will be up for that fight, and that is going to be the decider. If RoX.KiS gets that, I think they just run away with the game. If Poseidon gets that, they still have a pretty good shot at winning.
Fair enough. I think you're probably spot on with that, my friend, especially since it's third Roche. As always, the cheese comes out in addendum to the Aegis, which makes it that much more valuable. And also, if Visage can get a pipe, I think that'll help in these upcoming team fights. Every time I see a Veno, I just think about pipe as a really classic kind of counter to the damage that Poison Nova can put out, because you can be reactive with it. You know, you don't have to proactively put on the pipe. Once the Poison Nova comes out, you can pipe up and absorb a good bit of that damage. So happy to see that item at least in the works here on Visage.
Venomancer can get like a veil to kind of counter the pipe, but I don't know if that's going to happen. And they can just get BKBs on RoX.KiS. At the same time, yeah, Doombringer with the Shadow Blade, not very useful. Gallblack has been holding a gem, or Gallblack or Visage have been holding a gem for like the last 20 minutes now, and they haven't been able to keep up any map control, any map vision, and I think that was like about the same time they took out the first Roshan. So a lot of teams gamble with a gem, and definitely paid off for Gallblack.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see y'all now with the Pipe of Insight recipe in the bank, so just going to be another couple hundred gold off before he grabs that next core item. Elder Titan also kind of close to a core item, but whoa, Scandal in the top lane, he's going to get caught, he'll get doomed.
That's such a bad time, like right before Roshan. You cannot afford that death. He has to buy back right now, unless they want to lose Roshan.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. He's going to be dead for 80 seconds if he doesn't buy back. Does he have buyback? Indeed, he does. Plenty of gold in the bank. But yeah, I was going to mention Elder Titan does have 3,000 gold sitting in the bank as well, so he's going to be able to grab his next core item pretty quickly. Roshan has now respawned. Illidan already down into the pit. What is RoX.KiS going to do right here? I think you're right. OD is going to have to buy back if they want to make it happen. He will, and that will instantly push Poseidon back a little bit. They're going to reevaluate their state. And Roche still with a lot of hit points left. The engagement going to happen. Go Black going to take a lot of damage. Does get the Chain Frost off before he goes down. Lich is going to be the first to fall, though. Chain Frost doing so much damage right here, bouncing all around Team Poseidon. That's going to be the end of the Shadow Fiend, the Veno, as well as the Timber Saw. Instant buybacks coming from the Shadow Fiend and the Timber Saw right there. OD does fall alongside his Lich brethren. And now Illidan in a little bit of trouble here. They're in hot pursuit. He is running, headed for the hills. Biz just too slow right now. He is going to rage out, trying to chase him down. He is going to be able to get off the Shadow Blade. I think with these buybacks, RoX.KiS still not going to be able to just walk into the Roche pit and grab that easy Roshan, but not the team fight Poseidon we're looking for by any means.
Yeah, the buyback from OD, or the first death from OD just really cost them. They would not be in this much of a down position if it weren't for that. And now Poseidon could just go back in and do Roshan, especially with their BKBs now up and Doom coming back up in 5 seconds. And like Scandal, he has to know better than that. And it was like at the end of the Roshan timer too. It was it's like what, 9 to 11 minute respawn or something like that, 8 to 11, whatever. And like he just died like at the 11-minute mark. So it's like right as Roshan respawns.
Yep, and Roche under heavy fire right now. Who's going to finish him off? It is going to be the Radiant. Aegis still on the ground. Timbersaw going to be the one to grab it, but it is going to cost Doom his life. Timbersaw still alive. Tame My Wild taking a lot of damage. Biz up in his face. Down he goes. That's going to be a double kill for the Lifestealer. This fight going exactly how RoX.KiS would like. The Aegis still in tow in the inventory of that Timbersaw. He may be able to make it out, but I'm not sure it was worth it. Where is the cheese indeed, my friend? I don't know. I don't see it on the F5 chart. But uh-oh, Solo's still in a little bit of trouble. He's not out of the clear yet. He's going to catch another Timber Chain. They're still in hot pursuit, though. They may be able to grab him. And no, he's going to Timber Chain yet again. Still trying to pursue him. If they can grab a slow, perhaps grab a silence, interrupt this next Timber Chain, they'll have a chance. Venomancer are going to use that Force Staff to scoot him forward a bit more, and I think that will secure the life of his good buddy Timbersaw here as Solo does head back to the Radiant side. Where did the cheese go? Somebody must have eaten it already.
I don't know.
Because I don't know where. Yeah. I don't know what happened, but uh-oh.
BZZ might die.
Whoa, Solo here looking like he may fall as well. BZZ gonna hop inside that creep. He may heal up. Solo dangerously low right here. He's gonna reinitiate. Go Black gonna get caught by the Frostbite, and that is gonna be the end of the Aegis. He's gonna pop right back up. Now Biz going in. He's gonna try to find a target. He is gonna be able to catch the Veno. Gonna use that Abyssal straight away. Not gonna be able to finish off the Veno. Elder Titan gonna come in. That'll finish him off, but it is gonna cost Biz his life. A very chaotic exchange here as both teams continue to back up and reinitiate. They did burn the Aegis. I think RoX.KiS though are the victors after that huge engage outside, or starting in the Roche pit and then ending in the Radiant jungle.
Even. That was
kind of even.
Such a crazy. Yeah, I think so. Like Shadow Fiend died, but Lifestealer died. OD bought back and died too. So that's pretty much the same as Shadow Fiend. He died, bought back and died.
Yeah.
And then Lifestealer died, which is about the same as all the other people dying too. So yeah, it's about the same.
Timbersaw bought back also. Then the Aegis was burned, but Poseidon grabbed Roche. Yeah, I guess we could call it a wash at best here. Too much math to do in my head. And glancing at the gold graph, RoX.KiS still holding on to their lead, about 4,000 gold or so. The experience graph is what's scary, though. About a 12,000 experience lead for RoX.KiS, which is a lot of that coming from the OD, who is getting pretty close to that level 25 mark.
I think like OD at this point can actually pick up like a Shadow Blade or something. I think that would work out really well for him because then he can just look around to fight for Doom. And if Doom doesn't pop his BKB, he's going to die. You sheep, you BKB yourself, and you kill him. And then you don't have to worry about your Doom. And they don't have any detection right now. And so he's pretty safe to like walk around freely with that just because they've been holding the gem forever and they still have it on the Visage. And like even like a small item like that, most people would be like, oh, you know, I should just get a Refresher. I should get a Heart because I keep dying. I should get a Shiva's for more armor so I don't die to right clicks and all that. But I think if he gets like a Shadow Blade, they could just like pick people off. Whoever decides to split push will die to like a sheep burst from Scandal, and like being able to get the jump on Doom before he gets the jump on you is just so important.
Yeah. Interesting item pickup here by Elder Titan. He's going to go ahead and grab himself a Lincoln's. So that's 2 Lincolns now. Actually, whoa, 3. Another one in the inventory of the Lifestealer. So he's got one of his own.
Lincolns. That's ridiculous. Now who do you do? If Elder Titan dumps his Lincolns on OD, and then Lifestealer just rages, like you can't Doom either of them. And like maybe you get like a Force Staff to try and counter the things, or Yules.
Yeah, I guess.
Force Staff's better.
Yeah, I guess Yules could be an option. Now, if you have a Linken's and someone puts a Linken's buff on you, do you get a double Linken's or does it eat both of them?
No, I think you get double Linken's.
Okay, I think so too, but I actually don't know if I've ever seen it in a competitive match yet.
I don't think so either, but that would be so bullshit if you pop 2 Linken's with 1 spell.
Yeah, that's true. That would be a pretty powerful spell. So we'll see. We'll see how it works in this upcoming fight. I think we're destined to see some Linken's action here. And here's the engage. Poison Nova going to be used to start things off, though the pipe was already on, going to mitigate a lot of that incoming damage. Requiem of Soul's going to come out as well, but whoa, OD going to have a huge Sanity's Eclipse. That'll be the end of the supports. Doom, Veno, and Crystal Maiden all going to fall right there. RoX.KiS still with all alive. Y'all taking a lot of damage from the poison, but he is going to be able to survive. Still going to keep that gem in tow. There is going to be a buyback coming out. Who was it that bought back right there? The Venomancer. Going to be a bit of a wasted buyback, though, it seems, because I don't know that RoX.KiS are going to continue to press their luck here.
He actually wasted Doom on the Linken's, too, on the OD who was BKB'd.
Wow. Wow. So, a huge team fight right there, and that, I don't know if that's going to be enough to seal the deal, but RoX.KiS furthering their momentous lead here. And,
we found a counter to Doom. Mass Linken's.
Mass Linken's.
Radiant's top tower is under
so they're going to take out this top tier 2 tower. That's going to take the tower count to even 5 apiece. 1 tier 2 remaining in the mid lane for the Dire. 1 tier 2 remaining in the bottom for the Radiant here. 35 to 23 as we're starting to approach the ultra late game. Just about at that 50-minute mark. And this is when RoX.KiS should really start to shine. I mean, 40 minutes ago, we were saying all RoX.KiS have to do is hang in there, trade even, and they will take that carry advantage. So we'll see if our predictions come true. Looking at that net worth chart, though, you know, even Lifestealer now, number 2. And
Shadow Fiend's just so fragile. Like, if he gets sheeped, he's dead. If he gets abyssal, he's dead. Like, and how are you supposed to just, like, walk up and do anything? Yeah, he does need a Linken's. That's a sad part. And he was 5-1 to start off with, and now he's 7-6. And... like, he had a really good start. He had a really early BKB. He was doing very well in the matchup versus OD, and it's just not panning out to anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And OD now 11-4-8. He just has not been shut down much throughout this match. And has Lifestealer grabbed another item here? No, he's got 3.5.
Is anyone going to defend versus Shadow Fiend on bottom? He took the tower down to half HP from one.
And now somebody's going to port back after Shadow Fiend's already left. Yeah. Sadoy going to defend. Yeah, giving Shadow Fiend a little bit of breathing room right there. But, yeah, Shadow Fiend also has another 3.3k gold in the bank. I don't know. I think that Crystallis might have been a mistake. I think if he had gone more for a Butterfly, Shadow Fiend might be in a better position.
Or Linken's.
Yeah, or Linken's. But, you know, forcing that Lifestealer to get an MKB instead of grabbing the Linken's, I think, would have been a much better item path.
Yeah, Scandal's going to have his refresher very soon, too. He's going to have refresher and buyback. And, like, how are you going to deal with double Sandy's Eclipse, double BKB, double Sheep? Like, oh my goodness, that's such a nightmare to deal with. He could pretty much, like, 1v5 them if, like, if he doesn't get doomed.
Yep.
Wait, it refreshes Linken's, too.
Yeah. So. Oh, forgot about that. Yeah, you're right. So it is going to be the Daedalus on the Shadow Fiend. And again, I'm just going to reiterate, I think if that was a Butterfly instead of a Daedalus.
Like, what's his uptime? Like,
much better, yeah.
10% maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with the Daedalus pick here. I think he's just way too squishy. He does have Lifesteal, probably going to turn that Morbid Mask into a Helm of the Dominator, eventually into a Satanic, I suppose, but I don't know. We'll see. If Shadow Fiend can survive in these fights, then he'll be in good shape, but you know that Biz is gunning for him.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like Scandal is too.
Yeah, everyone's gunning for the Shadow Fiend. So let's see, other item pickups here. Veno yet to grab anything else. He does have that Hand of Midas though, so he may be able to grab another round of core items before this game ends. Looks like Doom going to be working on an Assault Cuirass. Does have the Hyperstone as well as the Plate Mail, so well, making steps in the right direction. Will definitely help. I think an Assault Cuirass on the side of RoX.KiS may be a wise item choice. Could be what the Elder Titan goes for next. He does have about 2,400 gold in the bank, so not that close to it, but you know, could start working on it.
Visage is going to get it. I think Visage should get AC. Elder Titan should get like Shivas, and OD should get. Oh
yeah, look at that. The recipe on Visage.
OD has his refresher coming out. This is going to be a pretty bad fight for Poseidon if they don't get the Doom up on OD.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. They're going to push forward. They're going to engage on KSI. Venomancer going to get sheeped. He is going to be able to force staff backwards, so he's going to be able to survive for now. The last outer tower for Poseidon, I think, very well may fall right here. Poison Nova going to come out. The pipe already been used.
Who did it hit?
A lot.
I don't even think it hit anyone.
Did it hit anyone? It hit creeps, that's for sure.
Yeah, he got them creeps. When you have an Ag Scepter on Venomancer.
Yeah. Oh, the Courier. He got the refresher already. Okay. So So that was the retreat courier getting taken out yet again. I think Eldon grabbed it, but yeah, wasted ult there by the Venomancer. That was pretty bad.
That's a big ult.
Yeah, that was a big misplay right there. Veno going to have the pipe up in about 30 seconds, so it's going to be in good shape. This tier 2 tower is destined to fall. There's actually no glyph available for Poseidon right now. So if RoX.KiS continue the pressure and press forward, take a good fight right here, they're going to get Rax. Going to be no way to defend it. The sleep going to be used on Venomancer. Biz going to push forward. Look at the double force staff. Venomancer going to get into the trees. Don't know that it'll be enough to keep him alive. Certainly not. He is going to fall. Sadoy going to grab that last hit. It'll be a 5v4. Let's look at the buyback chart. Venomancer does not have it. It's on cooldown.
They kill SF, it's over.
Doesn't have enough gold, and I think you're exactly right about that, my friend. We'll see how RoX.KiS try to initiate here, and they're going to use the open wounds on Doom. The Sheep going to come out, and, well, he is going to get Force Staff back to safety. RoX.KiS playing this very, very wise. Not going to overcommit, not going to dive the base, just going to use the mech. They are going to back up, though. I think they could still press this with the Venomancer down.
They're just waiting for creeps. They baited out the BKB on Timbersaw, so like Timbersaw is going to die very early next fight. Shadow Fiend is trying to be cheeky with his illusions, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Oh, maybe they are backing off, looking for the Roshan. It's up.
Okay.
Black scouts it out.
Yep, there it is. Roshan is up, so fair enough. Roshan or Rax, I think the third. No, this is the fourth Roshan, pardon me. So Cheese will be coming out, still a very valuable Roshan kill. Let's just glance at the gold graph here. Oh, just about a 9,000 gold lead or so for RoX.KiS. That experience graph
only 9,000.
looking even worse. Yeah, only 9,000. 15,000 on the experience graph, though, so that is really where it's getting scary. Roche going to get melted like butter to a warm knife. Aegis this time going to go in the inventory of the Lifestealer instead of the OD, partially because the OD is capped out and doesn't have a slot for it, more so than anything else. The Cheese going to be in the inventory of the Visage here, who is getting dangerously close to that Assault Karas, has the recipe, Plate Mail, and Hyperstone, so he is just a little bit of gold away from getting that big aura item.
I mean, look at these supports. Visage, like, Pipe, Scepter, Mech, AC. That's ridiculous. Like, Elder Titan has Heaven's Halberd, Lincoln Sphere. That's about right. Lich has he has Heaven's Halberd if he wants to buy it on drums. So, like, these guys are pretty stacked. Venomancer, too, with Midas, Medallion, Scepter, and Force Staff. Like, my goodness. Like, I mean, we've been seeing a lot of items and supports, but I'm still surprised at how much they can farm up.
Yeah, absolutely. Doom has picked up his Assault Karas now, so that is good news for Poseidon. There's a Halberd in the inventory of the Crystal Maiden as well. Not sure if she had it in that last fight, but we certainly haven't mentioned it. So the Halberds are starting to come out. Those disarms becoming more and more powerful. And there it is, the Assault Karas now in the inventory of the Visage. So he's got basically everything a Visage could ever want at this point. He's even got the cheese. And he's dropped his Medallion of Courage. How sad. Sad times were had by Visage.
Yeah, he's missing Refresher Orb for triple Familiar Stun.
Oh, that's just dirty. That's just too much.
I'm still like, what the fuck with Visage Burst. Those Familiars are like the most OP things I've seen in like the last month.
The fact that they persist through death is really for me, like the over the top. Like they're good anyway, but then Visage dies and he still has map presence. That just seems a little.
He just like owns BKBs like so hard. Like what support can do that much damage to BKB besides a Medallion Visage with birds?
Seriously. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I agree. Visage is a little intense right now, even though he was nerfed a bit in 6.79. Again, Shadow Fiend trying to go up to some Rat Dota here, pressuring that top tier 3 tower. Biz gonna port back. I don't know. I think RoX.KiS may be playing this just a pinch too cautiously here. I think they have a much bigger edge than their kind of passive playstyle here would indicate. If they can just take a team fight with a semi-decent engage, basically initiate with a sheep stick or anything like that.
Yeah. It's also good play by Poseidon, though. Like, Shadow Fiend's been pressuring bottom, he's been pressuring top. He has both those towers down to teeth, half HP, and, like, RoX.KiS is in a really dominant position right now. There's no way they should be, like, taking damage on our T3s and not getting any damage on theirs.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would have thought, I mean, I guess you don't really want to base race against the Shadow Fiend. That's exactly what Poseidon are hoping for, to trade Rax for Rax and kind of level things out. But I don't know. RoX.KiS just have so much power right now. Just burn Sanity's Eclipse, Refresher, Sanity's Eclipse, port back, and that should be enough to at least kill 2 of the supports, if not a few more of Poseidon, and then have plenty of resources to spare to deal with that Shadow Fiend. up in the top lane. But yeah, positioning, I guess, becomes the difficult part on that front. And
okay, now here's the time though. Like now, all their lanes are pushed past the river, and they can push up mid with the Aegis in the cheese. This is the opportunity that they're looking for. I fully expect them to commit to this push finally. Now that everything is going their way.
And also a Daedalus on the Lifestealer. That is a rarity indeed. I can't remember the last time I saw a Daedalus pop in the inventory of a Lifestealer. So an interesting choice, but he
doesn't need AC. I would say like Heart is probably better, but I mean I guess Timbersaul's thing is percent base, and yeah, he has Lincolns for survivability. Like even SNY wouldn't be so bad, just so he doesn't get kited.
Yeah,
but
look at that, 900 crits.
Daedalus, that is a lot of damage. You can't discount that.
Can't deny that this Lifestealer is a scary force here. Buyback scenario looking okay for our Radiant side right now. Doom, the only one. Doom and Timbersaul, the two that don't have it. But here we go. Look how fast this tower is melting. Glyph going to be used just in the nick of time to keep that tier 3 alive. RoX.KiS still playing this very passively. Going to do a good bit of damage. Shadow Fiend is not near their base right now. He's pressuring this bottom lane, as you mentioned, with Shadow Fiend this far out. This should be the opportunity for RoX.KiS. They've got a 5v4. They might even be able to brute force their way up to the high ground once this next creep wave comes in.
Yeah, they should.
Now
use Rage to pop it out with the
Glyph
pipe
is down. Pipe used. Was that a Poison Nova? Oh my gosh, that was another Poison Nova.
What is up with these poison? I mean, it's a minute cooldown, but
still, you need it to connect with heroes. I mean, it's on the Lifestealer, but
he's getting creeps though, man.
Yeah, he's killing those creeps. Shadow Fiend forced to port back here. The tower falls. Melee Rax taking a lot of damage. Again, RoX.KiS not going to overcommit here. I think they probably could have committed to the Rax, but still playing this very safe. They still have an Aegis on the Lifestealer as well. I guess I needed the creeps. Never mind. Backdoor control. My bad.
Gotta use that Midas.
Yep, RoX.KiS going to reset here. Creep's going to get cleaned up. Uh-oh, Biz taking a lot of damage, but oh, that Timbersaul, he's going to get cut down. He's going to get abyssal while he's got that BKB on. That's going to be the end of the Aegis, but now RoX.KiS going to commit. Venomancer going to fall, compliments of the Earth Splitter, and down goes the Crystal Maiden as well. Both supports going to buy back right away, but the melee Rax fall. Ranger Rax taking heavy damage here. They're just cutting through the backdoor protection. There's no creeps inbound.
Drop the ult, Scandal. Drop the ults.
Oh no, Tame My Wild still has the Requiem of Souls. What's going to happen here? 5v5 on the field. Sadoy in trouble. Down he goes. Now Poseidon going to be able to grab a little bit of momentum perhaps. Y'all going to be in a little bit of trouble on that Visage. He's going to head for the hills, but he is left all alone. It is a 5v1 for that poor undead bird. He's going to fall. So RoX.KiS not getting the easy racks they were hoping for. A couple of recovery kills from Poseidon, but alas, the damage has been done. Mid lane has been cleared out. And let's look at buyback status here for the Elder Titan. Does he have it? Yes. And the Visage, he does not have it, but I don't know. I think RoX.KiS should be able to hold off here, as it appears Poseidon going to counter push.
Yeah, I'm really sad I didn't see the Sandy's clips. Refresher Sandy's clips.
He didn't even burn the first one? Oh my.
Yeah.
And oh wow, this Crystal Maiden going to get taken out as Lifestealer drops her in a matter of seconds. That buyback going to be on cooldown. So there's going to be a 4v4 here, and oh, a gem going to be down on the field. Somewhere.
Yeah, I think that RoX.KiS needs to pick another one up though, just because the Doom Initiate is pretty big. Also, I don't really know how OD got managed to get doomed, even though they have like triple Lincolns, but it does happen sometime.
Triple Lincolns still doomed. But yeah, I don't know what he's saving the Sanity's Eclipse for. I guess Poseidon weren't grouped up very well to get a really easy, you know.
Yeah, they had BKBs, but that's still like BKBs are really low at this point too.
Yeah, exactly. That Timbersaul, basically, he BKB'd, got abyssaled, and then there was about a second left on his BKB before it expired. So they are definitely at that point. And now Shiva is picked up on OD, so he is just about as capped out as he can be. I mean, I guess he could buy a new BKB at this point, but he's now got Refresher for that Sheepstick and Shiva's on top of all of his other abilities.
Oh, Rapier on the Shadow Fiend. Here we go. Whoa. I don't think that's the right item, but I mean, when you're this far behind... If you get Sheep, though, he's dead. In a 4-second BKB, that's a really big concern for me.
Yeah, wow. That's... I mean, as you said, this is kind of that point, 60 minutes in, you're up against the ropes, you need to do something crazy. They're not going to win by just playing straight up. But that is crazy. We talked about how squishy this Shadow Fiend is, and how part of his problem is it's almost like he's made of glass. And with a crit stick and a rapier, not adding too many stats.
660 times 240. I mean, he'll crit for like 1,500, over 1,500 at this point.
He's definitely going to be hitting hard, no doubt about that.
but Odie has 42 armor.
Yeah.
And
73%
BCC has
physical
30,
reduction.
like 31-ish with AC and stuff.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it works out. RoX.KiS going to press forward. Here we go. Venomancer going to connect with that poison over this time. The fight going to commence. Veno going to be the first to fall. Looks like Illidan may be the second to fall. That Shadow
There goes a rapier. Oh, no.
Oh, Jesus. It's a disaster. The OD. And, wow, the Doom was used on Visage in that fight. Not the target of choice.
I don't know why he doomed him. He probably just, like, screwed a link. I'm just going to doom a target that I know he'll stick on.
Just doom something. Get it off before I die. Oh, very unfortunate.
BCZ, though. He like right-clicked him like 4 times and he couldn't drop him.
Yeah. Well, at least it was an exciting match. We got to see a rapier. It was a noble effort, but I mean, Shadow. Did he even get an auto attack off with it? I mean, maybe one, but he just got melted.
He PKB'd and got a few on Lifestealer, but then he got sheeped and just ulted and then refresh sheep ulted again. It was kind of funny.
OD, definitely the MVP in this match yet again. That's the recurring theme today. OD, a hero that you really shouldn't undervalue. 15, 4, and 10, first ban, first pick material, absolutely, in my humble opinion. Oh man, what a day of casting. That does wrap up day 3 of Starladder Season 8 here on Beyond the Summit. I'm Zyori. With me was Merlini. Merlini, my friend, it was an absolute pleasure. First time casting with you. Hopefully it'll happen again in the future. It's going to be a 4-day stretch, though, until Starladder Season 8 resumes. I believe Monday is when matches will be coming up next.
Yep, happy Turkey Day to the people who celebrate it, and I guess we'll be tuning into DreamHack, I suppose, which will be happening over the weekend.
Yes, absolutely right. That's a good thing to point out. DreamHack going to be coming up, guys. So again, thank you for joining us, and that's it for us today. We'll see you.
Yeah, thanks, Yuri. It was a pleasure.
Oh, the pleasure is mine, my friend.